Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib open mic. The link's in the right hand side in case you'd like to join. And I guess we're going to talk about bounty. The only significant change since the Wednesday show is a change in the defense rules as far as getting your defense bonuses. Previously, if it was you did more than 10% to the incoming fleet or received, I think, 25% damage, um, you would get well if you got both of them, you would get 400. Now it appears you get 200. Maybe some people can explain how this is actually working, but the way that the rule is put out now is if a fleet hits you and does between 10 and 25% damage to your base. um, One second, let me mute Ben for a second. I'm not sure what's going on there. If he does between 10 and 25% damage to your base and retreats or dies, then you will get the bonus. This is sort of a departure from what we've seen historically. It wasn't announced until today. It sounds like a really weird rule. I could understand the 10% minimum, but the 25% maximum doesn't make a lot of sense. It feels more like a prepping bonus more than anything else. If somebody hits your base for 35, the way it's explained, and we can get into that if people have more experience with that. If somebody hits your base for 30% damage and they die, you don't get a defense bonus. The way that Chris wrote it out in Discord and on the forums. So I guess I'll start introducing everybody from left to right. Magic Mike. Okay, no Magic Mike. Watchman.
Hi, everyone.
And High Lord.
Hello, hello. How's it going, guys and girls?
Pretty good. And Ben, I hope he realizes I put him on mute because there was too much something going on. But you'll have to unmute to say hello, Ben.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. And one more chance for Magic Mike. I don't know where you had your microphone, Mike.
He's rushing to his mic.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Great.
So, okay. Well, I guess I'll ask. I guess the first question: does anybody have a lot of experience with the way the rule has been written, and is that actually the way it's happening as far as the defense bonuses? As far
Yeah,
as
I have a little
I'm
bit of
especially
experience.
curious if somebody does over 25% to your damage but doesn't get any bounty points, do you not get the defense bonus?
Yeah, well, what I've noticed is I had a guy peek me earlier. I forget when it was, yesterday or whatever day it was. But he came in with, a full Conquer fleet trying to take it out. Like he came in with like the Hurricanes and like 4 Witch Doctors. Well, he did like not even 2% damage to my base. And I did some damage to his fleets, and he got right out within like less than a minute. And I got the 200 points. So, and then I saw earlier today that Chris changed the rule, and I don't know if that's how it is now forever, but somebody has to. You can't just use the gunboat anymore to get the taps. You have to either put some buildings or put something out of the way. They have to do like at least 10% damage to it, and then get out, and then you should be
Now,
able to get your
well,
bonus.
Lady Cat says she just got hit. He retreated immediately, but did 1.75% damage, and she got 200 points. So
That's what I'm saying.
obviously,
Yeah,
okay, not
that's what I
not at
mean.
least 10%. I'm saying 1.75.
Well, that's what happened to me this morning, or yeah, early this morning.
Okay, okay, go
I
ahead.
got 1.36% to my total damage of my base, and I got the 200. But then, like you
Okay,
were saying, I saw Chris put out that post around 3 or 4 o'clock saying that now it's 10 to 25%, and I don't know if that shit's true. I think you just have to do over 1% damage to some buildings, and then get out, and then you'll still get your gunboat taps. So, and then just repair for a second, and then have the guy put all your stuff, like use all your like floating buildings, like the new titanium and uranium, the tech lab, the retrofit lab, like stack all that crap in a corner and some oil rigs and stuff, and that might do it for you. Or have something kind of easy to where they can go in and chip at like one warehouse for like one shot and then just retreat. Because you don't want to do crazy damage, because if it passes that 25%, then it's considered like a full attack. So then you won't get it.
Which that part doesn't make any sense to me. That's the one
Yeah.
I'm most curious about.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's written like that, but it is written like that. Because I did try to give a guy some gunboat taps early when he asked for them, and it didn't work. And then we kind of figured out what was going on.
Okay. Yeah, I just let him know in Discord that's not working the way the way it's written. So hopefully he'll at least. They're not going to change the way.
Maybe he meant to put 1% to 25%, not 10%.
I don't know.
Because it's just an odd number, 10% to 25%. I can understand after 25, you're in for the kill or whatever, but like 10%.
Well, except for
but
that,
I had
once you-
1.36 and it worked, so I had the 200 on the 1.36%. So something doesn't work. The way he's wording it's not right.
No, that's true. Yep. So, but I find it really odd that once you go over 25% and you still don't kill the base, you don't get the defender token or bonus. That part is weird if it works that way, because it doesn't make any sense within the realm of the game.
It doesn't make any sense from defender's point of view, no, because if if your bases work well, you deserve to get some points for it,
Well,
Yeah.
except for that, it doesn't matter from the attacker's perspective whether you get those points or not, unless he's trying to load you up to take more points.
Well, he could be taking out your portals and coming in a second time, and then you won't be fully repaired. And then he could be using that to his advantage.
I mean, we always should do 5 taps on bases, you know what I mean, and then hit it. You know what I mean? Like,
give him a little bit more points to take from him.
Yeah, get another 1,000 out of them. Yeah, and because you've used their taps as well, so they can't even do that. Yeah, we've done that loads of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how's bounty going for those that are participating at this point with all the changes and whatnot? Sounds like it's going well for some, and I'm not sure for others. So
yeah, I'm okay. I'll go first on that one. Then I'm on about 113 at the moment. I did it like overnight. I did grind a bit. I pulled my guard. I allowed someone to hit me. Well, I didn't allow someone to hit me. I got hit, and I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. You know what I mean? I've now got a 4-hour bubble. I wasn't worried about the medals or nothing like that. And under that bubble, you can just go out and use. I mean, basically, if you've got a breacher, because there's no guard fleets in the enemy bases that we hit on the map, you can virtually do it with one ship. You just need to send another ship around the outside, and you can do it pretty quickly.
Well, it all depends what you're hitting too, but yeah.
Yeah, I only hit anything that was worth over 500 points.
Yeah, so do I.
So yeah, I can't be asked. Just grind out too much. I mean, I grind out enough, but yeah, 500 points or more, and yeah, but it works. Just say I put a few hours in and ended up about 110,000, and I'm now 113 with a couple of drops that we've had since. So yeah, for me, it's gone okay.
Yeah, I scaled my fleet back when I first started. When I was going for the points, I had the full fleet, the 3 dreads, Witch Doctor, and the Hurricane. And after like an hour, I'm like, you know what? Forget this. I don't want to have to repair those other 2. So I just pulled those out. Now I just run just the 3 dreads. So if I'm going to repair, and then a certain a full hour or a half hour, and then I'll repair, and I just keep hitting stuff. And I'm over 80,000.
I'm taking out most bases with just one single dread, Arbalest dread, going in and it's taking everything out.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah. So
yeah, but yours are also built for attack. Mine are more of a floater dread. It's built attack, so it's not a full It doesn't have full building damage.
Yeah.
Mine are more sinker dreads. They sink.
Yeah. Well, you need that new armor. You need that D6 armor. You need at least that tack one.
I haven't got that. I haven't got that on mine. So because
Yeah,
I said
I have one of those on each of my dreads. One of those.
I was busy. I couldn't do the last bounties, so that's why I knew I had to sort of put a good score down on this one to keep myself valid in the game again. Because it was basically if you don't do it this time, you're going to get too far behind and you become completely you're out of the game.
Well, it's also nice that they brought the dreads back. So I'm gonna pick up the extra 2 and then get the turrets, and then I'll pick up the tokens, the Conqueror and Defender tokens, and I'm gonna pick up the 3 Hyper 30s because they're so cheap. So I'm looking at maybe 125,000, maybe 130, and then I'm done.
Yeah. So I don't need much more, and I can get it if I need it. Easy enough.
One day.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Mike, I know you're not participating. Ben, you said you're doing some of it.
Yeah, I'm at about 40,000 total. Haven't been really hitting it hard. Just doing replicas. My problem is I'm having tremendous lag.
I think everybody is.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Now,
sure.
before I joined Bounty, I had no lag issues. But as soon as I hit that button to join, the lag hit me hard.
It's like pressing the leg button, man. Yeah. I tell you what, I crashed in so many things because as I said, as I said earlier, that I'm really only using I'm putting one ship going forward, and the rest is just sort of like going around and rimming the outside or cleaning up, tidying up around there. Yeah, but the amount of times it fucking crashed, you know what I mean? It was really frustrating,
Yeah.
And the lag, I was down to, as I said, sometimes it was only showing a couple of frames per second,
Yeah, and that's what's getting me is lag.
Oh, it's like stop frame animation,
Okay.
Other than that, it's going good.
Okay. Alrighty.
I mean, if you got 40k in one day, I mean, if you add that over, you're going to get everything you need if you can keep that momentum,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, do I really want to be here doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a grind. I mean, I had the time, so I didn't mind grinding. I'm just hitting replicas as well. I'm not dealing with people's base guards and all that nonsense. I'm like, you know what? You're only going to get maybe 2,500 max. So if I can get between 500 to 1,000 off a replica and not have to deal with a guard, and I can take my time, and if I want to go in one way and then come out and then enter another time, I can. You can't do that on a person's base. Once you get past that 25%, they're bubbled, so you're locked in.
Yeah, it's hell of a lot cheaper hitting the map targets. It's more of a grind.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? It's more of a grind, but it's a cheaper option. And saying if you've got, like the breachers, like an arbalest breacher, that will take out most of the high level, your enemy bases. Just one ship basically can go through and just use another one to go around the outside and tidy up. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I just want to make one correction on what High Lord said. The maximum you can get hitting a base is 3,299.
Oh yeah, that's with the 800. Yeah.
Yeah. I hit a level. I found a level 199 replica base last night. I was hitting.
Wow.
I said, what the fuck? I've never seen one that high before.
Yeah, I hit a 141 just to see what was in it, and it was no big deal. I was like, yeah, this is not that bad.
Yeah, I found a few with rude messages as well.
Yeah, I saw a couple as well. You see some weird shit when you're hitting these replicas.
Yeah. But I mean,
yeah, I'm glad they put the spell checker out there for at least. Oh, that's coming soon. The spell checker for your walls. So you will
just stole my thunder. I was going to ask if it was spelled correctly.
Yeah.
It must not be working as intended because I still found some that said stole.
Yeah, D. Yeah.
Yeah, that one
That
kicks
is
stole
an
my
option.
money and things like that, and like FU kicks, and there's a few out there because I've seen them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like
Yeah, they're still out there. I don't think it's into effect yet. The spell check
Yeah.
on the base walls.
Okay. Well, you know, hopefully some point soon. Some point soon.
No, it's quite funny when you find them bases. It is, you know, it's like it's like a relief. You know, it's just break. You know, I mean, you think, yeah, that's amusing. You know, when you're grinding away, sort of thing.
So, okay. I guess we've touched on everybody that's participating in Bounty. Is there any? I'm not participating in it because I don't like that there's no way to get out of Bounty. I mean, not that you can't just say I want to be out of Bounty, but there's no like, okay, I want to go to bed and I don't have enough points to lock. You know, I still want one or two, some minimal, less manual locks, but there has to be some, or otherwise you're just.
I get you.
Takes over.
I get what you're saying, FA. You know, because I don't like, you know, obviously now like your base is open for 4 days. You know, and you've got what a maximum 4 hours repair time and everything. So the whole you can't repair the structures in the base in 4 hours. You know,
Well, not even that. Not even that. He's talking about more like if he wants to go out to dinner or he has to go to work, he would like to be able to save those points right then.
Yeah.
And then it won't matter till he gets back on. And right now, they should have at least one save a day to where if you want to go out and do something, you could say, okay, I want to just save this and that's secure. And then I use my save for the day. And then you go on, do whatever you got to do. And then when you come back, you know, no bounty's going to keep gathering because you won't get the 6 hour clicks unless you log on.
I think
I won't have 12 hours of repair.
Yeah.
And nothing, no bubble luck.
Yeah, I think like everything is relative. It depends how you look at it. I mean, for me, okay, from my perspective, is that like I think, you know what, I don't care about medals. Like, you know, let's just go out. I need to get you know, some stuff that's going to improve my base defense in the long run. So, you know, you think you're playing the long game, you know, rather than you take a hit in the battle, hopefully to win the war later, you know, and you know, so it's tactical. In a way, it's like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just, you know, I'll go in there.
I've never liked the fact they've never compressed our base repair time to be commensurate with what's going on with the with our bubble.
Yeah, I think
it's a bastardization because you want to design your base differently for bounty than you would the rest of the time, based on you know the way a lot of this stuff works.
Yeah, I think if you're partaking in bounty, then the whole base, if you get 100%, it should repair within the 4 hour time limit that you get for the bubble. You know what I mean? It should do.
Or even let's say you get 15%, and and you still don't have time. Or let's say you get 26%. You don't have time to. You still have what 9 hours left on your portals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that part I've never liked, and that's why I've always liked the situation where I'm there, I'm aware of what's going on, but I can make myself not an attractive target.
Yeah.
For a couple of times a day, whatever number of times a day that is. That's.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, I deliberately dropped a load of medals beforehand anyway, so you know it means I'm not they're not stealing nothing off of me in that respect. If people are after cookies as well, sort of thing, because I know I'm going to take a hit, you know, like because obviously if you enter bounty, you know your base is not going to be repaired within that time, as we said. So you think, okay, yeah, it's a measured decision. You think, I'm going to take it. I mean, before I've come in on the last day, you know, and smashed it because I didn't need as much. So I knew I could get that on the last day. But this time I knew I needed a bit more. If I'd have realised I could have done that easy, I probably would have come in the last day, you know. But so I'm in now and that's it. Okay, you know what I mean? But, you know, if anyone wants to hit me, get hit. I don't care. You know what I mean? I've got a repair button.
Yeah.
We're pirates, aren't we? We play the game, we expect to get it, you know.
Yeah, I'm just talking more about the bastardization of the rules.
Yeah.
That's more my issue. So,
My
but
the one thing I wish I did was make the dock instant repair, so at least maybe your guard fleet would be halfway repaired, if not fully repaired, by the time your bubble popped.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, the docks would be instant, like the shipyards are, you know.
Yeah.
I was fortunate that when I got hit, at the time I actually got hit, my fleet was on the map, and I never went indoors. You know, I never went back. You know, obviously, I let the dock repair in free time, stayed out on the map. You know.
Yeah, I got fleets all over the map.
Yeah.
All my resource makers. I got Bucks on the map, my Katie's and some Skies on the map for titanium. My icebreakers on the map, just the auto 68s. I had my dragons hitting like 82s and 114s. I'm not driving any of that crap. I'll drive later after this is over. I already got all the chests just from hitting a couple things.
Yeah,
while
so
I'm doing other things.
I mean, I know we're going off on a slight different tangent now, but like the FM, fortunately, I've done my FM this week as well, and picked up the tokens, and because I'm still building or refitting the eradicators for the raid, you know. So, but as I managed to like smash out the best part of or break the back of the bounty, you know, I jumped back on and got some more FM done earlier, and that allowed me to finish that as well, you know. And there's not much else now, is there? So, and as we're speaking now, I'm actually rolling for cruise, you know, because why not?
Okay, well, maybe we can move on if we're all exhausted on bounty. What's everybody's plan for the next raid as far as what ships are you going to have ready, and how are you going to use, especially after the change, and then the rechange of the FM prizes that go on to your eradicators or whatever else you want to put them on. But
I'm still working on my 4 originals. I'm still strapping on armor, and I mean, I'm still on the first 4. I'm taking off. I mean, I'm adding 1 more folded ferrite, so now I have 3 on each one, and I still have 1 DC1 on. And I took off the barrel system and put on Hyper 30. So I'm doing both of those at the same time, and it's like 2 days. And I'm just continuing with that. The third one's almost done. I still have to do the 4th one, and then I'm gonna stop on my ERADs just in case there's a TLC and tokens do come out. I'm gonna focus on my flag because my flag's completely blank pretty much. So I'm gonna I'm gonna use the tokens from FN for my brutal, and start working on that and getting it kind of up to speed. And if there is a TLC, great. And if not, well, we'll know in a week, because after that, it's the raid. So, and then I'll just start fixing the rest. I don't know if I'm going to, I would like to get the new nuke on there and the CL4. And if there's time, that's fine. But I need to finish putting the armor on.
Yeah. I had the armor on my original 4. Into the raid.
I've got 5 now, including obviously the flag. You know, all done for free, using tokens, stuff like that. Yeah, fully built. But 3 of them still left to refit with the new bits. But what I'm going to refit first is obviously putting the Hyper 30 on, just to make sure that they're all balanced on speed. Because if something should happen, I don't have time to refit the other specials. I want to make sure that they're obviously that they at least travel together. You know what I mean? I can stack and keep them as I need. I don't like the fleet all splitting up without me deciding upon that. You know what I mean? So that'll be the way I'm going to work it. So all I've got to do is refits now. You know.
So nobody's working on the Shrike at this point.
Not touching it. Not even thinking about them. Yeah.
No, I built that blank and I put a little bit of rank on it, and I'm not touching that thing because there's what are they going to do with 1 Shrike? So, and there's no time to build it. I have to finish one of the fleets, and then if I get a chance, I'm hoping there's a TLC for Hydras, so I can switch out the CICs on those for the extra range. Because I had to spend 50 million during the raid just to refit those, just so I could get points. Because the Eradicators weren't performing how I was hoping, having 4 of them pretty much almost done, and a blank flag in the corner. So I had to do that just so I could get 200 million. So I had to waste 50 million, and then I ended up with like 220 or something.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Kickstarter's game is, they give us 2 fleets that are impossible to build within the time that you need to have them done, and no tokens, and then offer a sale, And this time, I haven't taken the sale up. It's like, nah, sod it. I'm just going to build the 1 fleet, and that's going to have to do it. I'm not going to keep doing this.
Yeah, and the other weird thing that I've noticed is, because on the Wednesday show I said, oh, okay, what am I building the strikes for? Because there's no way to get them done before the last raid. Am I building these for the TLCs afterwards? But we haven't seen a TLC yet with our skirmish stuff. With the bat rays and the razor tails, and we've been going on for a little while, and we haven't seen one. We've seen these special events, the bacon type events, that allows you to take advantage of them, but they haven't been showing up in the TLCs.
No, and by all accounts, as we know that how well the bat rays work in the SSRBs, but we also know that the Eradicators work well in the SSRBs. So
I haven't tried mine in there. What in the Siege SSRB? What's the
in the Siege side of it? Yeah, in the Siege side. Oh no, I haven't. What's the name? Who was on the Earth was talking about the other day on Wednesday.
Okay, but was he building for that or?
No. He was just using his raid fleet.
How much damage? Do you remember how much damage he said he was taking?
Not a lot.
40 minutes.
Yeah, about 40 minutes, and of course, so you can hit 3 of those for 2-hour repair, and you're full up with base parts, which is that's reasonable. Yeah, I could live with that.
I'm not sure it's much better than using hydras in the 103s, but
it depends on what you have. What fleets you've got available to you. Everyone at the moment, you would have thought, should be building Eradicators, so they should have a fleet that could effectively do it. So there you go.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with my after they made the change as far as the Hyper 30 stacking with the lower cannon mount. Still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my my brutal, because I originally had a plan for one way, and then they changed it and changed it back, because I could see ways to use that flag to soak up damage, and then basically use my other 4 to hit the short range stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see how that works out for people. I haven't made a decision yet, because I started building in a different direction for a week. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Sorry, FA. Yeah, I can see it working. I can see the lower cannon mount working. And to tank, using the tank in the fleet, or tanking the brutal Eradicator. The problem that I've got at the moment is I've got so many refits anyway. To get the fleet to a position where I want them to be before the next raid, that I don't have time to start refitting the lowered cannon mount on it as well. Possibly. I mean, if somebody has done it and they use it in the next raid to good effect, then I might consider that. I mean, obviously, I would consider it. But until someone else has done it, I think I'm going to take that leap of faith.
Yeah, it would take, the way I envision that, because of the shortened range and whatnot, it would take more driving than running them stacked or whatever.
Well, yeah, the 40% speed drop as well, that is a little bit worrying, because obviously we're trying to kind of outrun the flamethrower or turret, whatever it's called. I don't know. But you know. So at the moment, my fleet's got a combat speed, or the ship's a 74, you know, and so I'm happy with that, you know. But dropping 40% off of that is a huge hit, you know.
I mean, actually, the way I refit, the way I looked at refitting mine, it would actually be faster than the rest of my ships, even with the lowered cannon mount on it. So, because I'm not running, the rest of my ships are running like Cannon 5.
Yeah, you're not
And I
running
have
nuke accelerator.
No, yeah, I don't have nuke accelerator on the back ships. So the front ship would actually be faster than the rest of them. So it's yeah, it really depends on how you build it. Because it wouldn't be the slow ship. It would be about 2 or 3 combat speed faster by changes in the engine and using nuke accelerator. Because cannon system does provide a higher damage than nuke accelerator. So.
Yeah, I looked at those builds when Earth was on the other day. Somebody was talking about something, and I was thinking about maybe using.
Oh, what happened there?
But then it's all my other ones are like at speed 74, and even that one with all kind of souped up was only speed 70. So it wouldn't even be a tank; it would be behind everything by the time it got there.
Yeah, because a lot of people built them. I mean, but you don't know what your damage was.
No, I didn't have full armor, so no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I only hit
Oh.
2 targets, and I said no more, and then I just refit hydras, and I'm like, I'm not even touching these things again.
Yeah, because my range, I'm sorry, my speed is like in the mid to low 60s, and I still didn't have the flag done. But I was, like I said before, I took 25 to 40 minutes of damage for the 100 and the 102 in the last raid.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't doing all the speed stuff. I was doing the damage stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things change. Whether, because a lot of people I've gone resistances and damage over trying to up my speed a little bit. So, yeah, we'll see how it all works out. With the new targets.
That's it. I mean, during the last raid, I had 4 hulls, 4 reds, and a blank brutal like parked in the corner. So the first thing I concentrated on after the raid, since the raid, was getting the brutal completely refitted, and ready to go. And then everything else now is being refitted virtually to match up with that, as much as I can. So that's where I'm going with, what I'm trying to do. I say, but I've seen a few different builds. They all look viable, and there's a good chance that they're all going to work,
Well, especially with the new defense rating system, which is I don't quite understand that. They're going to be testing that prior to the release, which is supposed to, according to Ron Thicker's post, to drop some point in February.
Yeah, I think
so I'm hoping it's not drop. I hope it doesn't drop the day before the raid.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of builds I think there's a couple of builds you can go with, and 2 or 3 different designs that are going to work and are going to be effective. And you've got to pick which one you want to go with, and I've sort of chosen my path, and I've got to stick with it now, because otherwise it's going to be, the fleet will be unbalanced, So.
Yeah. But my thought is, they've in that post he talked about changes to our defense or resistances or PvE defenses that's supposed to occur some point in February, and my big fear is they will drop it in the update prior to the raid, and that would not be. In case anybody's listening out there, I don't think it would be looked on kindly to do it at that point, as opposed to the update after the raid, if it's going to plan to drop in February.
Yeah, because everybody asked for that as well.
Yeah. I mean,
everybody must have put that in, that when they filled in that questionnaire after the last raid, they said they wanted everything to change again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, they're still working. I'm not sure if the skins for the research generators are going to drop first, but
I was just gonna mention that. I'm like, I'm still pissed about that. You got me on that one. You know, it was a joke, but still, I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. It's stupid, but that's kind. I like skins for things. I just like different things, and you're like, I was just joking. I'm like, dang, that would have been kind of neat. Change up all your resource generators to make them look better, different.
Well, if we could camouflage all our epoxy, our turrets, to, I mean, you know, when you go into these the bases during the raid, yeah, I think it was mentioned before that sometimes it's hard to can even see some of those turrets. It really is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hard to identify what they are because there's so much layering of crap on them. You can't identify exactly what it is in that moment in time by the time you're trying to hit it.
Obviously, once you've hit it a couple of times, you should have worked out which fucking turret it is.
Well, yeah,
but, you know,
yeah.
But initially, like, you know, it's like, what the fucking hell's that? You know what I mean? Well, I didn't even see that one. You know.
Well, I have rad resistor on mine, and the thing I look at each time and reinforce my mind is not the thrower. I look for that short range ballistic and make sure I remember where it is every time I hit that target, so I don't get in range of that one, because that really takes chunks off of you. And that one's bright yellow. Well, relative to everything, it's bright yellow relative to the rest of the stuff. Which, yeah, like you were saying, some of them you think you're done, and there's still a target hidden in the shadows, which is not really that fun. I got a bigger monitor today, so maybe that won't be as big of an issue.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've got a bleeding 50-inch monitor in front of me. I'm sitting a 50-inch screen, 4K screen, like, you know, and even myself, you know, with
my hope is I'll be able to see them better than I was able to see them. So, but
I mean, I imagine people playing on smaller screens. It must be, you know, hard to differentiate between.
Oh yeah, I play on a 15-inch laptop. I mean, you know, but I do what I do, and I'm used to it. But I can't even imagine being on a 50-inch screen. That must be bonkers. It's like the size of your hand. The ship.
Yeah, it's not quite, but yeah, it's pretty good. You know, I mean, it does help. You know, when you find margins. You know, what I mean, when you're using skill fleets and stuff like that, as we used to be able to do in raids. You know, and then it's a fine line. You could get that nicely. You know.
Oh, I understand the benefits to it. It's just I've never experienced that.
All right. We haven't heard from Ben and Mike in a while. You guys still alive? And you got any things to say on this?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm gonna have the brutal and 2 regular E-Rads ready for the raid, so I'm kind of screwed because you know they're not gonna let the what's
Hydra?
it? Hydras work this time.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect the same amount of performance out of the Hydras, especially in the 80s. I would expect to see continued good performance in the 60s because the payout isn't that high. But yeah, the people that were doing well in the 80s, I wouldn't expect the same, except for they normally don't tune the map targets below the S targets that much from raid to raid. They tend to do the S targets the most.
Yeah, because there'll be a new S target. Like, what was it this time? 100 and 102. Well, the next one will be like 104 and 108 or something, or 106.
Yeah,
there'll be a new S target.
Yeah, but normally, historically, I'm not saying future or past results or no, future performance, but normally they don't do a lot of tuning of the old the map targets, the A, B, and A, B, and C sets.
Yeah, I hope not, because I want to use my Hydras on the 80s again. So
yeah,
that was nice.
It's normally the tier 8 or whatever we want to call it. You know, the top
yeah,
tier.
The top tier.
That normally will come back and bite you in the ass. As F is saying, I found as you go down, they don't sort of put the damage up much on the ones below that. You know, from like raid to raid. So that's a little bit more forgiving. You know, but yeah, if you want to play at the top end of it, you normally have to do some refits for the damage increases that's going to be kicked out. So we've got what we got after this week we've got one more week of FM, your tokens and that, guys, isn't it, to get your fleet ready for the next raid, you know. So plan and builds, guys, you know.
Yeah, and Mike, how are things going with you?
Good. I got. I'm going with my original plan, which was what pretty much you helped me with, and I switched everything over with the CL4, and I got one more hunk of armor to throw on, and I have a full, complete fleet of everything. So we'll see if it works. Fine. If it doesn't work, I'm going fishing.
Okay.
Hey, you should be good. Is that with a brutal, Mike?
The brutal's done as well. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, and all everything ranked, yeah. Well,
Get everything ranked. CL4 on it. The folded ferrite, except for one piece of armor that I'm using the rad armor. That what the hell? That new one, D6 is it?
yeah, I mean, well,
I'm trying one piece of that. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, mine have got
5.
three folded ferrite and one D6R. You know, all of them are going to have that on. I'm keeping with that sort of armor build. You know.
Yeah.
So, and because I want that little bit extra on the radioactive, just because, and also, obviously, chopping on the Hyper 30, it's having that radioactive defense because we can't outrange the flamethrower. So, you know, it's it's trying to negate any damage from that as much as possible. You know.
Well, because I'm putting on the Hyper 30, I don't even know if I'll put on the D6R. I am getting them from the FM, and I will have them, but. I mean, with the Hyper 30, you're getting 30% splash reduction. So do you need that 1% extra radioactive? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but, you know, we've already done, like, the fine margins as, like, how much 1% or points can
No, I understand it. It's bonkers. Yeah, it's like, you know, 0.50 is like, you know, you live, and if it's 0.21, you're dead. It's like, what the hell?
I'm throwing one on one ship to see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, Mike. Just to test it out.
But I know
this raid doesn't even matter. I mean, this raid is kind of like the floater cycle in the middle. I mean, we're gonna get some stuff, and there'll be some new goofy things out there. We might see a new Conqueror or something. But it's the last raid of the cycle that matters, because that's when you need to get all the new stuff for the next cycle, all the assault stuff that's going to be coming out.
Well, the reason, the logic behind my thinking, my build is I know where I took most of my damage in the last raid. You know, where I could see my health going down when I was getting hit. So that's why I'm building accordingly to try and negate as much of that, you know, radioactive damage as possible, because I was taking more damage from radioactive than anywhere else. So, you know.
Yeah, but now you're going to have Hyper 30 on as well, and you didn't have that last time. That's my whole point. You're going to have that 30% splash, and the radioactive turrets is a lot of splash. That's where you're getting all the flame blast. So I mean, it's going to be hard for you to tell if you even need that radio, and you could have just had another folded ferrite on.
Possibly, which one's working.
But it's already on there, so why change it?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, I'm okay, you can call it a belt and braces approach. You know, I mean, I'm using both sort of thing. You know, just to, you know, because I know where the damage was coming from, and that's where I want to improve that side of it. You know, yeah.
I think you'll be a lot better off this next time around, because you have the 30 on, and you know, you're gonna have full fleets and whatever, and you're gonna have the new CL4s and all that. So you're gonna have some upgrades, and I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I say
I don't know if I'll have all that shit. I don't have time.
It depends how much they turn the damage up again. You know, how far they turn the dial again. You know.
Yeah, well, that'll be in the new S targets. But I mean, like the targets from this raid will be dropped down to a spot, and then the new S targets will come out. And if you want that mega bonus, then of course you're going to go for those, so you can get 5 million bonus per 2. The 80s, you're only getting like, well, I don't even remember what it was, 1.5 million.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing. It's so you know, the drop down. You know, it is so punishing between, like, you know, getting the huge amount that you get for hitting the tier 8 to dropping down to the next tier. it's massive, you know what I mean? And I understand why they do it, because they want you to have coined and built that fleet, so you have to go to the top tier. Yeah, but I don't know. I just think that the difference between what you can earn between them is it needs closing. It needs closing up a bit, you know. Whereas you can hit what we're getting for the is it about 10 million or something for doing the top tier? And you know, and doing
Yeah,
the
you
second,
might. I didn't do any. Yeah, I didn't do any. So yeah,
yeah. I mean,
I just did the 80s, and I think it was like 3 million for their set.
well, there you go. I mean, there's a 7 million difference. I mean, you imagine, you know, if I'm hitting like the top tier and you're hitting the 80s, I mean, I'm going to get there so much faster than you are.
Oh,
You know,
most definitely.
you know, but you're still putting in the same amount of hours. You know,
Yeah.
sort of. You
Well,
know,
I'm just taking a longer route. You know, I'm taking a
yeah.
little bit less damage and hitting more targets, and we're
But
still
how much
crossing the
damage were you
finish
taking
line.
though?
Well, I was throwing like 1 to 2 coins on the blood for a 80 set.
Okay, and you were getting.
It's like 3 million.
Okay, I was letting it slow repair, but I was taking less damage. So yeah, I think once your eradicators are built out, if it's anything like last time and they don't get rid of our targets, you may find the higher set to be
Oh,
more
well,
efficient.
definitely once it's fully built. But you know, after that first 80 and you know the first hour of the raid started, and I had 4 all pretty much done except for the armors. You know, just 1 folded ferrite and then 3 DC1s, and then the flag in the corner, and it melted, and it was 5.5 hours damage. I'm like, you better go fucking suck a dick, because this is not how it's working for me.
So how much are you paying for an 80 set?
Uh, 1 to 2 coins.
Okay.
I thought it
So
was I thought it
that,
was 3 to
that's
4.
that's for free. All right. Yeah.
Not for me. I spent 50 million during the raid to
Hello.
some
You got,
stuff out. I didn't put the extended CIC on because I wasn't gonna wait. I didn't have the time or the tokens because I bought all the tokens I could, and I fit what I could. I had to take some stuff off just to fit 2 or 3 launchers on, and you know, and you only got what 10 tokens, so I was limited on what I could even change, and I had to pull off some folded ferrite
what was that
because of
using?
weight.
Was that using a crew at all, or just running them?
No, those are just junk crews. I didn't
Yeah.
use a monkey. I was using just like basic crews, just
Yep.
for like extra, like you know, Steelhead or Midnight Marauder. I didn't use any like real crews. I did use a grease monkey. I'd use 3 grease monkeys like on like Saturday or Sunday or something, just because I was helping people. I was prepping some stuff out for people, and I was like, if I'm going to start helping people out and get them a couple points, I'm not going to spend full money if I got the crew here. I'll just roll more later, even though they're a pain to roll.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's it. I mean, but if you've got them, and it only lasts 26 minutes, the irradiated cutthroat is a good crew. Because
Oh, I got like 10 or 12 of those. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, because I don't use them anymore for getting uranium, but I mean, they're good because of the defense bonus they give you against radiation. You know, yeah, I think you
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
30%. Obviously, demo squads as well. You know, because of the attack bonus you get with them. So,
Yep.
you know, that's 2 crews that I would recommend if people are going to use.
Yeah, I need to roll crews, but when you roll crews, man, you got to roll like 2 to 3 million a day, and you got to really like roll it. You can't just roll like 400 and expect to get like a grease monkey. I mean, it happens. You get lucky. I mean, I've rolled before, like on a second roll, I got a grease monkey, and then 2 more rolls, I got a grease monkey.
Yeah,
But that was like one set of the year, not like all the time.
yeah, I've got 29 grease monkeys at the moment. I mean, I've been pretty
Yeah,
lucky,
and that's why I hate you. Yeah, I hate you too. But that's all right.
Yeah,
I've had none.
I've been saving my demo squads for a while, and I've rolled a couple more since the raid. So I think I have like 14 or 15 of them,
Nice.
and those are, those are quite efficient in as far as hitting these targets.
Oh,
yeah,
most
and
definitely. Because you get
they
all
last for an
building.
hour and a half. You know, they
Yeah,
actually last for an hour and a half. So you
Well,
know,
yeah, you're getting building protection. I mean, you're getting building damage, and you're getting all damage protection.
yeah.
So it's like dual purposed.
Yeah, it's great for these if you have them. Because at this point, I'm having a hard time rolling crews because all I have is 2 stars and above, and I don't have room for the rest of them, so I'm waiting for the raid to unload some of the demo squads.
Yeah, I have a lot of old crews that I've been, a bunch of remote raiders, and I need to and I got a bunch of what is the other one? Dead Eye Destroyers. I mean, every time one of those pops up, I just save it. I'm like, I'll use it on something. But I got a lot of crews I could cut, but it's hard to cut sometimes. You're just like, I might want to keep that. But I mean, now it's so easy to roll crews, but you really got to focus. You really got to go out and roll like 1 million or 2 a day in uranium just to, get a couple good crews, unless you get lucky.
Well, I'm filling back up.
It takes a half an hour to 45 minutes in order just to do that. And that's the problem. It's not.
Yeah, it does. I mean, because you get what 459,000 of uranium. You fill up with. I normally roll down to about 80k in the base, and then go and hit 3 SSRBs, which I'm doing right now as it goes. I'm on the second one. I'm going to fill up again, and I'm going to roll again. I'm going to roll again because I do need to get some more demo squads. So I'm down to about 4. And really, demo squads and Grease Monkeys. I've got a DOS crew, just the one. I know because they're bloody rare. I've got a couple of others I could drop. I mean, I still use them. What's the guard?
No reason to use the DOS crew in this.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, he just kept it for an antique. Like I have one of the base parts crews that they gave us. And I still got those 2 guys. I have one left, and it only lasts like 15 minutes. But it's just the fact that you have that crew. It's hard to get rid of a rare crew, even though it's really you don't need it anymore.
That's it. Yeah, I won't get rid of that. I've never used a DOS crew. I've never used one yet. So, when I do get around to using it, it'd be okay. Let's, But at the moment, because they're so rare, I mean, I'm not gonna scrap it.
I got a crew I will not use or scrap. Crypt Keeper. I got a crew that I won't scrap or get rid of. Crypt Keeper.
Yeah,
what's it called? What's it called?
Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Keeper.
The Crypt Keeper.
But again, you guys can't sell these on eBay. And they don't.
No, but you also have 50 spots. So I mean, 1 or 2 crazy ancient old timer crews. I would keep it too, just for nostalgia.
The Pokemon effect. Got to collect.
Well, the DOS crew, the DOS crew is still effective. It still, it still has its place. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Not in the race, obviously, but it has its place still. So it's still a viable fleet, a viable crew. So that's why I'm not throwing that one away. There's other ones.
I still have my DOS crews, but some of those other ones, like the remote raiders and.
Oh yeah, no, I roll them. I don't even bother taking them. You know what I mean? I just roll past them. Yeah.
Well, you're not rolling past a remote raider because they haven't been able to roll them for years.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, which ones it is? Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, there's a few of them 3-star ones that pop up, and you think, I'll just keep going. Sorry, I mean, I was mistaken for the one, probably one of the ones that works with all the flying fuckers. Sorry. Brain's gone. I'm doing something else. But yeah, but it does give you a 30% speed bonus. That one, a fleet bonus, which again, in the right circumstances, can be useful. If you want 30% increase on the fleet speed, the combat speed. So depending on what you're hitting and what you're doing, that can have its place. But not for anything we're doing really at the moment. I don't think it's the best fleet to use.
Okay.
I use steelheads all the time. I always see the orange steelheads, and I'll throw them on everything. And when I'm doing FM, especially when I'm autoing stuff, because you're already going to auto it, and I don't care. I'll leave my fleets on the map for like a week until they are really bad, and then I'll repair one. As long as they can still get targets done, I don't even care. And so I'll throw that crew on there, and then it's still active as long as it's on the map.
Oh, you're sending shivers down Mike's spine with having all.
Well, yeah, I know the repairs. I know he would freak out if he saw my stuff sitting on the map. He's like, "No, you got to have it all fully repaired." I do sometimes, Mike, but mostly I'll just get what I need and I just auto stuff, and it gets some damage, and I'll worry about it later when it can't hit the targets anymore. But I'll run them till burn them to the ground if I have to.
That's it. Put them in an overnight repair or something, you know.
When I roll crews, I use my phone app and I send out I put my prototypes into 57s and I use it on the phone app while I'm sitting on the computer rolling. Never run out of you. Put them on auto. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, that's it. I'm just autoing SSRBs at the moment, and I'm hitting the third one, so I'm going to fill up, and I'll roll again. You know.
And then you got to repair. I don't have to repair.
Yeah, I mean, but the repair is like, you know, minutes. You know, it's free, so that's it.
Cool.
Yeah, the only time I think you were out of town for one raid, right, Mike? The only time I got him to like seriously damage a fleet intentionally, he was out of town and needed to catch up, and that was show him the best way to use grease monkeys.
Yeah, it was probably last July.
Yeah. I mean, but the beauty of it is, I mean, I know Jules has gone over it a few times. He used to say that he used to auto a lot of stuff and things like that. You know what I mean? And I can, but I really get where he's coming from on that. I mean, it is nice if you can auto stuff, right, as much as possible, because when the bloody game is lagging or it crashes on you, yeah, if your fleet's capable of beating the target anyway on its own without you even being there, you know what I mean, the chances of taking heavy damage are lessened massively, you know. So it's you know, if you can get as many of your fleets that can auto stuff for a free repair in a base or even free map repair, that's, you know, that's brilliant. You know, I think that's what hopefully most of us aim for if we can, you know.
Well, yeah, you guys, but see, like I don't even care about the free repair. Like, I'll throw a crew on or whatever, and I can hit, you know, 20 to 40 SSRBs. Yeah, it's gonna have a little bit of damage, but I don't give a shit. If it keeps doing its job, I'll repair it later. If I don't need it for like a TLC or something, I don't need it to be fresh after every hit.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm like that with my Skyfires. When I go out and hit, like, you know, the titanium, you know, I'll wreck them. They'll just go out there and hit loads of 85s, you know, and I'll wreck them and then put them on overnight, you know. Well, the
Skyfires, you just grab the flag, put that on there, go out there, make sure they have a little bit of health, go hit a cargo, turn around and go the opposite direction, let it heal the damn thing, and then kill the target, and then take it in the dock, and now you just healed them all back up to 75%, and then just heal the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a question from Bill in chat, asking when the next raid is, and I told him I think the 6th or the 7th.
I don't have a calendar.
Yeah,
I based that assumption on the fact that they gave us an FM schedule that ended on the 5th, which is the Tuesday.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with. Yeah.
Hey, and they've been starting raids on Wednesday recently, so that would be the 6th, and the 7th would be back to the normal. So one of those 2 days.
Yeah, so that looks about right.
Yeah, so we got like next week is the last FM before the raid. That's what I was saying. You know, next week's your last week of tokens. So, you know, whatever refits or builds, you've got a plan to make sure you have everything done for that, you know, for a raid starting on the 7th. You know, because that's what I was going with, is the fact that they acknowledged what's going on, and it was only 3 FMs they were talking about, and not anymore. So.
Well,
you know.
Well, it usually always is. I mean, unless they throw in some freak operational thing, it's usually here's basically the map. Here's the path. It's raid. The week after is VXP. The week after that is bounty. Now with this new crap they've had the past 3-4 months, the third week will be the event, and then the following week will be the raid again. Unless there's like 5 weeks in a month, or something happens and one of those things aren't like bounty, they don't do bounty that time. But that's basically it. Raid, VXP, bounty, event, raid.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen now? I think we're only going to get 3 weeks between the bounties because obviously February's a short month. It's only 28 days anyway, So
Well, yeah, but normally we always do. It's just once in a while we'll have that extra week.
Well, yeah, that's it, because a few of the months have 31 days, and what happens is they end up, a couple of times a year we'll end up with an extra week of FM, to sort of, to balance it out. Otherwise, it just pushes. We'd end up between 2 raids in 1 month.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I wish they would. I hope they go. I would like them to go back to the 4-month raid cycle, because 3.
You're chopping out sometimes.
We're gonna have
Well, it's
in a
when the aliens
calendar.
abduct him and probe him. It only takes a little while, but yeah.
Yeah, Mark. So a couple of times you've chopped out. Your mic has chopped out. Just for a couple.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We've gone an hour. Is there much else before we proceed to the after show? I think we've been sort of talking to ourselves for the last half an hour, because there's not really that much going on. So, look, TSM, you want to come in and talk to us? You're welcome too, because But yeah, I was contemplating going to the after show because there's not a lot of content that we have at this point. So that's where I feel like we should go, because I don't think what we're providing at this point is for the consuming public.
No, it's kind of just a broadband scape of things that are going on. There's nothing really new to talk about. Do bounty if you can. Try to get some of the new stuff, and work on your raid fleets.
Yeah. Basically, as I said, you next week is the last week of is FM. Last week of tokens. So just plan accordingly.
Yeah. And does anybody have any guesses on what we could see as far as the prize next time?
I think there'll be a new Conqueror, Tier 8. The second Conqueror will be out.
And that's what upsets me is.
It upsets me too. It's not in bounty, and it's going to be in the raid.
Yeah. But the fact that they keep on putting Conquerors in the PvE stuff, and then defenders and turrets and whatnot in the PvP stuff.
Yeah, it'd be a Conqueror.
It doesn't balance the game at all.
It'd be a Conqueror of huge pen defense resistance. You know what I mean? To negate the new fucking turrets that everyone's trying to build.
Or concussive to stop the lurker.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, if TSM doesn't want to come on, and we don't have much else to talk about besides, I have no idea what's going to come out next, but, just seeing if anybody had any ideas. And a Conqueror does make sense. The other scary thing that could come out, considering how old our Inferno Dragons are.
Yeah.
That's going to haunt your dreams, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah.
That was brought to my attention the other day too, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. Earth had said that. I'm like, dude, you are right. They might come. It's been about a year now, so the next dragon, the new, whatever replaces a dragon, it's going to be coming out in the next few months or so.
If they follow up, hey TSM, how are you doing, sir?
Hey mate, how you doing? All right.
Hey, TSM.
Oh, pretty good.
So same old, is it?
It's not the same.
Plus,
it's not the same old thing. It's
bait and switch.
It's not bait and switch. It's a whole different. It's a whole different thing that they're doing right now. Historically, you felt if you had a ship or a fleet that you needed to build before the raid, that you would be able to finish it. If you were smart, you stacked up your generic tokens. You dedicated your time to that. You didn't let your shipyard go blank for any period of time. And I figured it out. It would take about $100 during the last raid to have what they tuned for. Which is the first time I've ever seen anything like that. And then I think it says on my on the forum that I've been playing since 2010.
Yeah.
So 9 years or 8 or 9 years that I've been playing, this is the first time.
Yeah. To clarify
that I've
that,
seen something like that.
To clarify that, what FA meant is it still need to spend another $100 to finish that fleet in time for the raid, wasn't it?
Wow.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the first time I've ever seen that happen in the game, because I felt confident they were going to do something, drop a time limited campaign or something of that nature. But no, and it's even more expensive because they've been bad at communicating it. If we need to have, and it appears that they want us to have both fleets, so you need to more than double that money. I think we figured it out as like $270 to be top end prepared for this upcoming raid, to have both sides of the S targets. So it's not the same old same old. They've they've unleashed the claws as far as things like that go.
I'm going to say now, though, that I don't think I've ever seen so many players without a full fleet going into the last raid that I've seen before. And players like yourself, like myself, that would normally have our fleets built, that didn't have fleets built, you know. I don't think I've ever seen that before in any raid up until the last one, you know.
So you're saying it's $250 to prepare for a raid, and then you got to pay yourself to get through it.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That's what they. I mean, well, the first one, we haven't seen the TLCs that are coming out now, but the first one was right around $100 to be prepared for the raid for the first.
Yikes.
And that's the first time I've ever seen that, and I was, I try to prepare people for what normally happens, and this isn't what normally happens, because this is the first time I've ever seen that. Because I calculated in the FM tokens, slow build time, and whatnot, and then what they told us that they had planned for was way up and above. It was $100 to get to that point, just to participate at the highest level. But the good thing was, if you still had Hydras from the previous years, they performed pretty well. They performed well enough to allow you to do well enough in this raid in order to claim the prizes that you needed. So, but yeah, that was.
Well, a lot of the problem with that is that the Brutal flagship came out like a week or two before the raid, and then they tuned the targets for a full fleet with the flagship, and that's not right for the first raid of the cycle.
Yeah, don't worry, everything will be tuned for 2 fleets this time.
yeah, and like High Lord, who doesn't mind coining and whatnot, he's still not done with his fleet from last raid.
Well, I coined smart.
The second one.
Yeah, I coined smart. I coined repairs and to get pieces of tech that I need. And and once in a while I'll go out and hit some bases, and and that you're just throwing money away because you're repairing your base or just to have fun for like an hour or two. But I don't go all crazy and hit bases 7 days a week, and I'm not coining 15 days of tokens just to finish my fleet. If I'm like at the level to where I am, and I'm having all the new stuff, and the time frame's not allowing me to have it ready for the targets that are tuned for, something's not right in that mix.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's exactly what FA was saying, and we've said, we've saved up our weekly tokens as much as we can, as much as you possibly can, and you still could not get a fleet built, before the start of the raid. The only way you was ever going to do that is if you was going to coin it. And I like the fact that a lot of people didn't do that, this time. And I'm one of them. We didn't take the bait. We just went, you know what, we're gonna park the the flagship in the corner and use its bonuses and just run around with maybe the 4 that we've got built or the few that we've got built, and take that, because it's like, people are just it's fatigued. They're just getting fed up with it being thrown at them, the long builds. And as I say, what we've got now, we got a second fleet, and I don't know how many people are going to ever, get the second fleet built in time for the last raid, even because we're refitting the original fleet that we were given for the first raid. And and I say I'm 1 million points off being a level 130. I get every token that comes out, and I'll just about have my first fleet, refitted in time for the next raid, the second raid. So that getting the Shrike, the second fleet built after that within 1 month, there's no chance happening. Yeah.
No, there has to be a TLC, and if they didn't come out with 2 new pieces that you want to put on your eradicators, the CL4 and the Nuke 3, or I'm just saying most people are going to put those on. That's like 3 days right there. It's like now I got to switch something that was working just for like a couple extra % bonus because the damage is so cranked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the other thing you missed was a sort of messed up DXP experience, where a lot of people didn't participate to, I think, the levels that they had planned, because they had I forget, basically it would cost you about 150 coins to basically get 1 random drop of a 3-star crew. So
wow.
they're doing some serious drugs on their side. And
Yeah, they wanted 200,000 points during the VXP weekend thing. They were dropping out. So you could buy things for 10,000, 20,000 points, yeah. But for 200,000 points, you get a random chest that might have a Grease Monkeys or anyone that a random 3-star crew, yeah. Now, as we know, the majority of us that can get decent, anyone that could get 200,000 points to be able to spend on that, yeah, has got a fleet where they can hit SSRBs for free with bat rates and roll for crews. And that's exactly what I'm doing at this very moment. I'm rolling for crews as we speak, yeah. For free. Like, yeah, why would I want to pay a fucking fortune, to do that? I've got no idea where their rationale comes from, where their logic, and they think that people are going to go for that. It's madness.
Well, it's down to ratios, isn't it? I suppose it's as you said, SSRBs fill up 3 times or whatever it is on the ratio now, or go get the 200k on the off chance of getting something. But what damage do you take to get the 200k?
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because you're only getting at the top tier targets for those sets. The regular target was only 5,000 payout, and if you did all 3 of them, which one was for razors, one was for bat race, and then one was for the eradicators. If you did all 3 of those, then you got a 15,000 bonus, but you only got 5,000 per target. So to get 200,000 to get some random crew is just outrageously crazy. Like, who came up with that idea?
Yeah, I mean, they massively overpriced the crews.
If it was like 5,000, I still wouldn't do it, but it would be reasonable.
Don't forget to mention to them about the PvE refactor.
Oh, yeah.
The what?
What's
happened there?
PvE refactor.
Okay, you know about the Rages and Analysis?
No, that's that's PvP. That's PvP.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You meant PvE.
Where they're changing from... What is it?
Is it damage types change, is it?
No.
The splash and the damage percentages are not going to be percentages anymore. It's going to be like a base number.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird things going on.
Yeah, they're changing all basically, unfortunately.
They're changing the core of the game.
Yeah, and that's the worrying thing, is changing, playing around with that old spaghetti code and expecting it to work without any glitches. I'm not optimistic about it.
That sounds like going back to PvP in November, which is when I stopped.
Yeah.
I've not done bad. I have to say, the money I've saved in 2.5 months, I've built myself a new PC with an i9 processor and a new RTX graphics card, so I'm quite content.
That's nice. Yeah,
Nice.
I've just bought a new Mac as it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an old one. It's an old Mac. Pro, but I love them. I work on them. I use Final Cut Pro, and I love that. So I've got a second one. You know, loads of RAM, and I've already got like all the hard drives and bits I need to put in it. But anyway,
Nice.
I haven't been taking their fucking deals and buying the speed ups for fleets and you know to have things done. I've been playing. It's like I'm not taking the bait this time. You know, I'm gonna slow build this fleet. You know, I'll have it done for the second raid, and I know for a fact that I will not get that the other fleet. You know, the Shrike fleet built for the third raid. There's no chance. I might start building it. I probably will, but I mean, I don't. Only because it might be useful at a later date. But it's not by any stretch of the imagination ever going to be finished by the last raid of the series. You know.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like I said, you know, I mean, I was a mild coiner, nowhere near sort of, and very much like High Lord, you know, where you try to, and Ren was the same, where you try to coin the clever things and not just get, you know, gullibly sort of sucked into the other things that are really expensive. Yeah. But I still saved over you know, 3 months, probably £1,000 English. $1,200 probably.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, they've got deals out now.
Before or after Brexit?
You know, that's before Brexit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no, they're throwing out deals now. You know, if I could take it if I wanted to, but it's just like, do you know what? No, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm not tempted this time. You know, it's no. I've the apathy towards it. You know.
It's odd, isn't it? Yeah.
We've got bounty going on at the moment. Okay, so I've done bounty and I've done well in it. You know, but I did miss the bounty before. I was busy, so I know I had to do this one just to keep back in the game, sort of thing. Because it was almost like a life choice. Is either if you don't do this bounty, you're virtually out of the game. You know, and like a fool, I did it. You know?
Well, fortunately, I've managed to stay away, and I don't miss it now. So you know, I miss the people and that sort of stuff. And I just, you know, I watch a few of the people's videos. I'm still watching a bit of Ren stuff, and you know, I pop on, and even you guys, I'll watch a few of the shows here, just a bit of reminiscing, which is nice. You know, help support everybody. But there's definitely no way I'm coming back to the game. I have to say, it's all been deleted off my system. So.
Yeah, I mean, no, I used to watch some of your stuff and the input you gave, and it was good, you know. So I'll thank you for that, you know, because for anyone that comes on there and you know tries to help the community, that's a good thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can only be so positive for so long. That's unfortunate, but you know.
Yeah, tell me about it. You know what I mean? It's you know, I'm an alliance leader, yeah. And you know, sometimes when you feel negative about the game yourself, and you're meant to be technically like the motivational speaker, you know.
Bingo, nail on the head.
Yeah.
What are you drinking tonight, then, Hefe?
Oh, still the cheapest beer I can find. So you know, it's all good. Yeah, you missed last week's. I would have found it interesting if you showed up on. I'm not sure if you listened on.
I've been away for a couple of weeks, mate. Sorry. So
okay, no, you know, those poor Somalians. But we talked about why do people coins? Why do people coin? And why don't they want to coin? Because the way they've changed the game. You know, as the example we put out, there was $100 in order to be prepared for the raid. Really doesn't fit in with the you know the player base as far as being willing to do that, and that's why I ran that show last week. It didn't work exactly how I wanted it to, as far as people from different perspectives on the game talking about it. But do you want to talk about that at all? Like,
do you know the way I looked at it, mate? The simplest way I looked at it, right? I literally, and I have done since the day I started the game now, and nearly I could have throttled myself, to be honest. But actually, when it got to the change of the PvP stuff, and I looked at what was upcoming and that sort of stuff, and I looked at the requirements, and yeah, they were dangling massive carrots in front of you to say, change this, change that. You're going to have all this stuff for free. So I just had a quick review of myself, and I thought to myself, right, hang on a minute, how much have I actually pumped into the game over the last? And I just went, right, 2 months. Okay, And then I looked at that and I thought, right, now if that money was laid out in front of me on my table, right in front of me now, would I willingly just hand it over for something that I don't physically have in my hand in return? And actually, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And I thought to myself, so why am I doing this? Is it entertainment? Because is that actually what it is all about? Or is it the physical one-upness against other individuals? Well, actually, it's a little bit like a drug and a fix. You're only one up for 5 seconds until the next person's one up on you, and then you've got to go back again and chase that inevitable, circle of wanting to be, which is where the game's always driven. It's the thirst of being the best, and it gets to a point where, I don't know, reality strikes, and it's just when you see the physical cash laid out in front of you, and you go, I'm just going to go and basically put that into a virtual, black hole somewhere, just to carry on a bit more entertainment. Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, but if you spent that money on going to a movie and a show, you would actually probably burn that money faster.
Yeah, no, and I get that, and I absolutely do. But like I said, so I physically in the first month put it into a CPU, then I put it into a motherboard, and I was like, hang on a minute, I've actually managed to survive Christmas and sorted my children out, and actually can actually buy one of those nice new graphics cards now. And I was thinking,
can I ask which card you got?
So I just bought the 2060, nothing special. So middle of the range. So but I mean, it's the same as the
No,
TI.
I'm actually looking to get maybe a couple of new AMD cards.
Yeah, well, there are some nice ones out there, aren't there? So and obviously there's a new Ryzen 3 series coming out. So I've been doing a lot of, and I used to do a tech channel a long time ago, and I've been back into. I'm sort of going away from Power Pirates, but yeah, just for updates. So I'm streaming free-to-play games, proper ones, which means that if you die in the game, then literally your item is reset and it's brand new again, and you can just carry on. So I'm streaming the new Unreal Tournament 2019 for a start. That's one of the things I'm doing. And I'm also doing World of Warships and the such like that sort of stuff. So
sorry, I just rolled 2 demo squads, one after the other. That's what I've been after, demo bloody squads.
Oh, cool. That's cool. I left all my crews behind. I didn't use any of them in the end.
Yeah. He ran 2 in a row. I mean, if you know his user ID, report him to fair play. So
yeah, is that possible? Is it?
yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, that's good.
No, that's nice. But we should probably end this show at this point. I'm sure Mark wants to tell us about. Or I'm sorry. We're gonna have some discussion as far as flying drones around airports. And,
yes, yeah, that's interesting.
I've
got some gossip on that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, did those drones actually ever exist? I mean, I haven't been following it for a couple of weeks.
I'll wait till you go offline, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I've got my drone in front of me as it stands.
It wasn't yours.
That wasn't mine. No.
All right. So if you want to fly drones around airports, join the after show. It's been linked up on the right-hand side. Otherwise, join us on Wednesday, and we'll be talking about whatever's coming next. And we'll know no more at that point in time. So good night, everybody, and see you on Wednesday.
Be safe.
Good night, everybody, and try to get some bounty points if you can. And if you don't want to do bounty at all, wait till the last 5 minutes, and then you can start it. You'll get 3,000 points, and you can get a token, or you can get some item for 3,000 points and take no damage.
Yep. That's true.
Yep. Good luck, people. Good luck, people.
Later, everyone. Good luck.